And I remember my late father, who was a decorated tail gunner in the Army Air Corps against Japan. I asked him once, I said, Dad, what was the worst thing that ever happened to this country in your experience? And I thought for sure he was going to say the 60s or something like that. He said, World War II. And I looked at him and I said, how could you say that, Dad? We won. And he looked at me like I was an utter moron. And he said, son, you win a war the way you win an earthquake. And that is true. So when you're examining these things, I mean, certainly when you're looking at Vatican II as an entire phenomenon and all that, there were certainly certain people there. I don't want to mention Karl Rahner, but no, that would be offensive to specify anyone for abuse. John Courtney Murray is another one I won't talk about. But some of them were definitely malevolent. But you must understand that most of them were looking for a way out of what they saw as an impasse. Their confidence in the Catholic thing, not necessarily the dogmas of the faith, but the Catholic thing, the ethos, was horribly shaken, if not destroyed, by what they had been through. And the running gun battle with modernity and the modern state that the church had been fighting since the Revolution, she'd been creamed every time. So the third problem involved was that the liberal state, which the church had always condemned, was epitomized by the United States at that time. But remember what that United States was. It was Eisenhower's America. It was the country that had saved Europe in World War II and via the Marshall Plan. It was the country where Archbishop Sheen was the biggest ranked television star, even bigger than Uncle Milty. Some of you won't get that, but some of you will. If the guy next to you, the lady next to you is going, who, Uncle Milty, who's that? You tell him later. In fact, you can do some of the jokes. Anyway, point is, you look at that, and you can see the epitome of what, as the Pope would say today, they called a confessionally neutral state, nevertheless informed by gospel values. You look at it that way, you think of the America of 1963, and then you look at Pius IX's writings, say, in the syllabus and elsewhere, about the inevitable decay of the liberal state from mere indifference to despotism and immorality. And it seemed insane. We living today, with 50-50 hindsight of 50 years, you read Pius IX now, and he reads like a prophet, better than Criswell even.